Enjoy this great game.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Humm Baby Baseball channel. Today we're going to check out this article that says MLB is way behind the times as far as social justice goes. Before I get into it, just want to say I pretty much stay out of all this stuff that's not baseball related. I try to stay to baseball related topics because when you start getting into politics and all this stuff going on in the world, you're going to offend a lot of people, and that's just the way it is. I don't even have opinions on a lot of stuff because I don't feel like I should have opinion unless I'm very informed and very educated on the matter. And some stuff I'm just not. But stuff that I feel like I am, I do have an opinion. I just don't always share it on here because why am I going to share it on here? This is a baseball channel. But since they're talking about baseball and they're talking about baseball players, thought we might check this out and I'll give you my thoughts. You might disagree with my thoughts. If you do, just go ahead and let me know down below. You know, you're respectful. I'll be respectful. We don't have to kill each other over anything. There's no reason to cuss each other out, even though I just got cussed out, I think, yesterday. But it's okay. Once a leader of social justice, MLB is now embarrassingly behind the times. It says, lead, follow, or get out of the way. This is by Scott Miller of Bleacher Report. There was a time when Major League Baseball was among the leaders in this country's march towards social justice. Now it is inarguably a follower. Those are some harsh words. So let's see the evidence here. Let's see what he's got going on to say why MLB is so far behind the times as far as social justice goes, and they are a follower, no longer a leader. Because, you know, I thought that MLB was definitely the most diverse sport there was right now. As far as rosters go, we have people from all over the freaking world. But anyway, let's see what he's got to say. Let's see what he's got to say anyway. Worse, the game now risks being dusted into the get out of the way category as a righteous movement thunders past MLB, seeking inspiration and direction from social media accounts of LeBron James and the words of coaches Steve Kerr and Greg Popovich. That the sport of Jackie Robinson was the last of the 4 North American sports leagues to issue any kind of statement or public acknowledgement or position during a full week's worth of passionate protest following the killing of George Floyd is beyond saddening. It is dispiriting. This is the problem I have here. Why are you making it into a competition who's fastest to put out a statement? What these public companies, all these big companies are putting out their statements out on Twitter and everything with the black background and the white text. You all have seen them. These statements, first of all, and I'm not saying I have any problem with any of the statements in themselves, but what I am saying is they're formulaic. They are created in a PR lab. Let's be real. They are created very, very cautiously, worded very cautiously by PR people, run through the ranks, approved by all the people. And once the owners and everyone approves it and they say, okay, we come with our final product, our final edited product, and then they shoot it out there, okay? It is not from the heart. It's not spoken like this is how we feel. There's not any passion in it. It's very formulaic. At the end of the day, they're not from the heart. I'm not saying I have a problem with the statements. I don't. And typically they say something like, oh, we condemn racism. Well, I hope you condemn racism. Guess what? Humm Baby Baseball would like to say that I do not rape women or molest children. Are you gonna? Yay, Eric. No, these things are obvious. Of course racism is terrible. Of course it is. So when you say you condemn racism, like, I hope so. So the statements say things like that, but they do avoid mentioning key things. They usually will not mention the police. They won't mention police brutality. They won't really get into specifics because it's a very vague statement trying to please as many people as possible. That's what they are. It doesn't even bother me that much because I know that that's what these companies are. They're billion-dollar companies. You're not going to get anything from the heart for them. You might from me because I'm a one-man operation. I might just spit out whatever I'm feeling. But from these companies, no. Sometimes they do make mistakes and say stupid things, and then they immediately apologize. We apologize for that. That's what's going on. Should they have been last of the major sports to come out with a statement? You can have an opinion that they shouldn't have been. They should have been on the forefront of that. But you know what? It's not a competition who's fastest to put out a statement. And why are you so worried about when these companies put out their statements? I see a lot of people are getting mad at Nintendo. Like, where's your statement, Nintendo?
Where's your effing statement?
Why are people so worried about all these companies putting out their statement? What does that do for you? If you know what's up and what's wrong and what needs to be said, you say it. Put it out there. We just live in an age now where it's not so much about, it doesn't feel like, this is just my feeling, maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like it's not about how you really feel, how what you really feel is right. It's about policing everyone else, for lack of a better word, policing. But that's what it is. You're policing everyone else. What do you say? Why haven't you said it yet? Why haven't you said it yet? Why haven't you said it? Where's your statement? Where's your statement, mother effers? And then you want to crucify everyone. That's why it's called outrage culture. We just find things to be outraged over. There are things to be outraged over. That man's death is something to be outraged over, and I don't mind anyone being upset about that because there's reason to be upset about that. Police haven't treated me fairly in my life. I'm not going to put a blanket statement out on law enforcement, but I haven't had good experiences with law enforcement in my life, even though I'm law-abiding. I don't pretty much do anything wrong, okay? Does that stop them from messing with me? They see my long hair. I got Nicaraguan skin. It's not like dark, but I don't know what. I can't explain it. But cops will mess with me quite often, search my car, throw my things around, ask me where's the weed, ask me how much I've had to drink. I've had to do so many sobriety tests I can't count. Guess what? I don't drink. I don't drink alcohol. I never have. Guess what? I don't do drugs. I never have. I don't even speed. Does that stop them? No, it doesn't, because they profile. They certainly do, and it's discrimination, and it's messed up. If someone's not committing a crime or you have a reason to believe they're committing a crime other than their color of skin and appearance, then that's the only reason you should be messing with them. That's how it should be, and that's how they should be trained. Are they trained that way? Doesn't seem like it in my experience. Doesn't seem like it in George Floyd's experience. But you know what? That's just my experience. Other people may say, police have been wonderful to me, and I think police officers are fantastic. And if you think that, I'm going to say, fine, wonderful. A lot of them are. I'm not dumb. There's freaking millions of cops out there. They're not all terrible. I'm just saying the ones I deal with have been. Then they talk about the players. It's no secret that MLB has been regressing for the past 2 decades now, as the percentage of black players in the game continues to plummet. According to numbers from last season's opening day rosters, the black population in the game was down to 7.7%. That's not because MLB is deciding, hey, we don't want as many black players. It's nothing to do with that. That's just because black players, black athletes in college and high school are choosing other sports, which is their right to do. Do you think that there should be a requirement that there needs to be certain percentages? I don't agree with that. The best person is going to get these jobs, especially as athletes. There might be some other jobs out there where this is a problem, where there is discrimination based on age, based on race, based on gender, based on all that stuff, and that stuff may need to be fixed. But as far as players in sports go, pretty much the best players get the job because those teams want to win. The owners know. That's why most of the NBA is black, because those are the best basketball players in the world, so they end up on the teams. And I think that MLB does the same thing. If more black players chose baseball, which they're trying to do with these programs and things like that, to get more black players interested in baseball, if more of them played, then more of them would be in there like before, like in the 80s and 90s. It's slowing down now, but we do have a lot more diversity from other countries and from all around the world. It's a very diverse sport, and I'm very proud of baseball because it's so diverse. It's allowing players from all over the world, not just Americans. We have Japanese players, we have Mexican players, we have players from the Dominican, we have players from Cuba who were able to get out of there, and they are now welcome in the MLB. Do we need more black players in the MLB? Yeah, I would love to see more black players. I would love to see more athletes in general to improve the sport. But, I don't watch a game and count the races. How many black people? 1, 2, 3. Whites, 1, 2, 3. A lot of people do that. I can't imagine going through like that. They say, oh, I'm colorblind. I don't look at color. All you do is look at color. That being said, yes, it's obvious. There's not as many black players in MLB as there used to be. And you might question why. Well, we know why. Because they're choosing basketball, they're choosing football, the easier path, the faster path, to make a whole bunch of money quicker. You don't have to go through the minor league system, which I love the minor league system. I feel like if you paid the minor leaguers a little better, and gave them actual living and don't make them live on poverty wages, maybe more players, black and otherwise, would want to play baseball instead of picking other sports. Now, I love the minor league system. I'm not saying abolish the minor league system. I'm saying pay them something. Pay them, let them have a living. That's what I'm saying. You got enough money to do it, and they need to do it. These tiny little increases in pay, that ain't crap. That helps, but it's not enough. So that's why I feel like a lot of black athletes are choosing basketball, they're choosing football. Look at LeBron James. He went straight into basketball. I bet he could have been a beast of a baseball player. And that's just an example. Maybe he wouldn't have been a great baseball player. I'm just saying, as an example, he looks like he could have been a beast of a baseball player. But, baseball is a specific skill, and, not everyone has it. But still, with his work ethic and everything, you just never know. So many great baseball players choose other sports, and I think a big part of it is because they got to go through that minor league system and basically get paid less than minimum wage. What a joke. Back to the article though, and it ends up saying, while LeBron and the leading NBA players like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Lonzo Ball, Jaylen Brown, and NBA players too, Richard Sherman, etc., are speaking out, few MLB's players have joined them. So now getting on MLB's players for not speaking out. It says that The men responsible for 4 of the game's 5 best-selling jerseys last year, Aaron Judge, Cody Bellinger, Javier Baez, and Christian Yelich, were silent, aside from posting black squares on their Instagram accounts on hashtag Blackout Tuesday. That's not enough. They need to come out and say something. We need statements, baby. Where's the statements? Why are we worried about it? Whether the players want to put out a statement or not, that's done their choice. If they want to put out something, they can. If they don't, they want to stay private about it and keep their thoughts to themselves. That's their choice. That's how I feel. You might say, no, they're on a public stage. They got a responsibility to put, no, really? I thought their responsibility was go out and play baseball, be a good role model. And you might say, well, be a good role model as part of putting out a statement. A statement that's going to piss off 50% of the people and 50% of the people are going to praise. You know that everyone's divided over their politics. You know that no matter what they put out, it's going to get criticized. So they might feel like, hey, I'm just going to stay silent. I don't know why that bothers people so much. Do you really care about what's wrong here? Do you really care about that, or do you care about being outraged and trying to pick and choose every company and every player and everyone you can be mad at that you can call out so we can go attack them instead of attacking maybe the real problem? Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. But I don't have a problem with some of these players deciding not to put out statements and not to come out and make videos and talk about this stuff because, I haven't talked about this stuff. I talk about baseball. I'm only talking about some of it now because they put out this article really trashing baseball and baseball players. You know how you feel about it. Put out how you feel about it. Do your part to stop the problem at its core. Because you start messing with all these other things out here. These baseball players not putting out his statement. He's not putting out his statement. He's not doing his part. And then at the core of the problem there, it's not getting resolved. Am I doing something about the core problem? Maybe not, but I'm not coming out and blasting MLB and I'm not blasting everything else. And I'm trying to do something and what I can. I don't come here and broadcast where I put all my money, who I try to help and how. But I try to help. Okay, I try to do what I can. And I suggest everyone do the same. Do what you can to help the problem. But I don't think it's necessary to go and just blast everybody. You guys have a fantastic day. Let me know your thoughts down below. Have a great one. And if you don't agree with something I said or if I'm off base on something, let me know down below respectfully. No need to say F you, you piece of crap. You can and you will. Many of people will. But I'm asking for a conversation here because I want to be more knowledgeable. I want to be more understanding. And I just don't see why going after companies and going after players because they didn't make their statement. I don't see how that's helping anything. I just don't get it. It's just more outrage and outrage and outrage. Attacking everybody for everything. Attacking a player for just minding his business. I don't understand it. Have a great day, everyone, and I'm going to talk to you next time. Make sure, by the way, if you want more of my thoughts on some of these matters, follow me on Twitter because I will put a little more out there. I try to stick with baseball even there, but I'll be a little more open to discussing some non-baseball matters over on Twitter. So you can follow me over there. You guys have a great day, and I'm going to talk to you later. See ya! When the Giants come to town, it's bye-bye, baby. Every time the chips are down, it's bye-bye, baby. History's in the making at Oracle Park.